So let's start this session now. So before we start, let me introduce Abhishek. His name is Abhishek Ghosh, and currently he is doing his master's MTech research from Indian Institute of Science, IISc Bangalore, and he is very popular on Telegram with his username HighTechGA. And I think on the GateOverflow also you have the same username on the GateOverflow
Yeah,
website,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Same
so
username.
Abhishek is very popular with his username HighTechGA, and many students they don't know his real name, but they know that there is someone with the username HighTechGA, and he is very popular for learning from standard resources. So I know Abhishek. I think maybe more than 1 year. I think more than 1 year has gone. I can say when I came across with Abhishek first time. So he used to ask doubts related to GATE computer science. A very huge doubts he used to ask, and in the doubt he also used to give some 3 or 4 standard resources, standard books, links, references he used to give. So at that time everyone basically knew that there is this someone who is learning from multiple standard books at the same time for every topic. And on the Stack Overflow website also Abhishek is very active. So many times you will see I think many questions, many answers you have given on the Stack Overflow website also, right Abhishek? I've seen like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, multiple. I think multiple questions and answers I have seen on the Stack Overflow website, and there you did not use the word high tech GA. There you have the username Abhishek
Yeah,
Ghosh. So
yeah.
why this type of discrimination? So
Like when actually I had registered for Stack Overflow and all, they took my Gmail handle, and my Gmail has my own name, so that is how they got my name. So I didn't have to type it on my own.
okay. First, let's start with when did you start your GATE preparation, and basically how did you approach overall? Like, can you walk us through your GATE preparation briefly?
Yeah, sure, sir. So, like, I was quite determined towards doing something very good after getting into my BTech college. So, it was a government college. My college is Government College of Engineering and Leather Technology. It is in Kolkata, West Bengal. Did my BTech from there. So, like, I had a burning urge to get into IITs and all. So, from the very first year I was just looking through Google and all to see like what are the perspectives, so like what can you do for to get into IITs and all, like what is the pathway. So I came okay get got to know about GATE, and very soon I get got to know that the best possible institution in India for MTech in computer science is IISc Bangalore. So that is the thing. So actually I fell in love with that institution, like the main building, the pictures and all, like it enchanted me to some extent. So I made a mind like I need to go there, like whatever may be the issue, whatever may be the cause, whatever my situation, I need to get into that institution. So like I am very like I started my preparation for GATE from first year itself. So I am glad to have professors in my college. So I would name one professor. His name is Devan Ganguly. So he used to guide me like what standard resources to read and all. Like he always said me like there is no shortcut to GATE. Okay, so many people like say that you can just do some random stuffs and all, and you can get good marks, and that doesn't work like that. Always he used to say me is that you need to be thorough with whatever you do. So that also he said me like you need to be focused on something, like either it is MTech from IISc or it is MS. Like you need to choose the pathway. So even I had made up my mind, and I would like even in I did not seek for placements and all because I was quite
Abhishek,
confident to get into IISc.
Abhishek, actually,
So that is how I
your
started.
Abhishek, your audio and video, I think there is some network issue. I think on your side. So can you can you check it maybe? Uh, because your audio is basically is not is disrupting in between. So you are not. It is breaking. Your audio is breaking in between. So can you do something
Okay.
about it? Like can you check it?
Yeah, I can check, but this is the IISc network actually. I
So
have no control over
let
it.
me tell all the students that right now Abhishek is right now in his room in IISc,
Hmm.
in his hostel
Hmm.
room, and so so I think there is some poor connection here with Wi-Fi.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah, that might be the case. Like, am I
can you
audible
connect?
right now?
Yes, right now I think it is fine.
Okay, so I shall try to go slowly so that my
Sure,
voice doesn't crack. Even if it cracks, so like
sure,
it
sure.
it might be understood. It might be understood, right?
Yeah, right now it is
So,
fine. Yes.
so where did I got disconnected?
So you were telling us about your professor who suggested you to basically how to prepare for the gate exam.
Yeah. So like he always said me is like not to follow shortcuts and all. He said me to follow, means whatever you are doing, you do it from standard books. So like ultimate thing is that the knowledge you shall be having, and that is how he just guided me. So that is the thing. I started my preparation from first year itself. So yeah, like I for each of the subjects I used to means prepare from more than one book. So as I felt necessary, then yeah, I gave my gate in third year and I got a rank of 378. And that is using that rank only I got into IISc through MTech research interview. So that's it. And the main thing which I would like to say about gate overflow, which I felt personally, is that see, like I means when I started my preparation for gate, gate overflow means gate go classes was not there actually.
Right,
But yeah, like I had started single handed only, like from starting from standard textbooks and all, at times referring to research papers, like wherever it was necessary, like page coloring and all, those were there in research papers. So like what I saw is that for a single human being, it is quite difficult for him to just go through like 2 to 3 textbooks. Like personally, what I felt is that every topic is not given in the best possible manner in all the textbooks. But the plus point which I saw about gate overflow is that the professors like uh, Sachin sir, then Deepak sir, they are so great. Like they used to take up all the best things which are present in all the best textbooks, and they used to compile them and they used to deliver them in class. Like they were like all the things which were being taught were from standard textbooks and all. So I was just wondering, like the thing which took me 3 years, okay, like that also was not to that level of accuracy. They were just doing it like in a playful manner. Like I was just thinking, like, what is this? Is a god level thing. Like that is the impression which I had. Like even if a student who has not read any standard textbook, if he or she follows sir's lectures and all, so he shall be having a firm rooted knowledge in CS subjects if he diligently follows what is being taught in Go classes. Like I used to even say Deepak sir regarding that important talks, means important lectures regarding Michael Sipser's textbook and all, and many things which are there in not there in Ullman, be it compilers or theory of computation. Those things are means nicely given in Sipser, and sir used to just compile them, Deepak sir, and used to just give it out in such a manner that you would like love reading that subject. And one more thing which I felt like mentioning is that when I was studying compilers, that red dragon book, I did not study that uh, newer edition of compilers. I just started the older one. Okay, so the thing about data flow analysis, I read it like 2 to 3 times, but the things were not that clear. I even said Deepak Punia said, like, sorry, what you have taught us, like everything was crystal clear. Like I had read the book, I had little bit idea, but I was having difficulty in solving questions like how to apply the logic, because that that chapter in Ullman is like for like more than 150 pages or so. It was like chapter 9 or chapter 10, I don't remember. So like Gate overflow, go classes and gate overflow, this combination is like, what I should say, it is like fire. That is the thing.
So
So
actually, Abhishek, let me tell the students that Abhishek is one of those students who was preparing from the standard resources from his first year. So basically, I think first semester or second semester you started your preparation, right?
the
So
first semester
first
only.
semester. So from the
Hmm.
first semester, he started his preparation, and he started with standard resources, standard books. And let me tell all the students. Actually, Abhishek, what happens in the college, in the colleges, in the BTech colleges, the professors who are teaching the concepts, they also sometimes basically suggest the students to refer these local books. Like for example, there when I was doing my BTech, at that time there was some publication. I don't remember the name. I think some NK publication or something. So that publication was very popular for just pass the exam. You can study for one night and you can pass the exam. So that those books were very famous in our college. And all the students who were basically, I can say, getting through the exams or just passing the exams, okay, by learning those books. And those were very, I
Hmm.
can say, very, very, very poor quality books. Of course, those books were not meant for the knowledge, of course. See, those
Yeah,
books
yeah,
were
yeah.
written, they were written in such a way that you just read these books for one night, and you can just go through the this I can say, this exam
Examination and
this
pass the
exam you can pass.
examination.
Yes, this semester you can pass.
Yeah, yeah.
So those books were not for the knowledge. Like, you were very lucky, let me tell you, you were very lucky that you got some professor who suggested you to study standard resources. Even in the coaching institutes, what happens, let me tell you, like, you are not familiar about the coaching institutes. You have only studied from standard resources, or you have studied from go classes, or some I think, right? So I think you are
Yeah,
not
yeah,
aware.
yeah.
I think you are not aware about many coaching institutes. So what they do, they literally tell the students that they students don't have to refer standard resources. See, this is their statement actually. Let me tell you, like, it is true. So like, they will tell that our notes are everything. Our notes, like, our notes will take you to every level, and you don't need to refer any standard resources. You don't need to refer any standard books. So this type of statement they will tell. But this is something that I just wanted to add, that this is something different in go classes and gate overflow. In go classes,
Yeah, sure.
we tell students that standard resources are the supreme. Like, standard resources are the topmost level. Like, whatever notes you have, whatever resources you follow, there is nothing bigger than standard resources. And that is the reason every concept, every subject, in every subject, every concept, everything we teach, it's from, I think, multiple resources. Like, for example, if we are teaching the concept of transaction management, then we will teach it from Ullman, Nawate, Korth. So all these standard books that are there, Raghurama Krishna. So from
Hmm.
all these four standard resources, you will find the screenshot in the lecture notes. So that students can study from, I can say, if you study from go classes, then it is like learning from simultaneously learning from three or four standard resources.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like
So
one thing which I also felt like mentioning is that during my fourth year's preparation, I was like studying the things in a much more depth. So like it was, there was times when like I used to have doubts at around 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay, like I used to just type the doubt to either Deepak sir or Sachin sir. Like within 2 to 3 minutes, I used to get the reply. Like I used to think like even they are not sleeping; they are just awake to solve the doubts of students at that time of the night, like
most
3:30
of
a.m.
most of our
4
conversations,
a.m.
I think, most of our conversations were happening at the night, I think, maybe 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So at that time we were having some doubt discussion or something. So on Telegram group, Abhishek used to ask whatever doubts he had, he used to ask. But let me mention something very important here, very important. Actually, Abhishek, what happens that many students, when they ask doubt, they will ask like this. They will send the question, and they will say, give the answer, give the solution. So this is how many students, majority of the students, they ask doubts. So they will just basically they will send the question and they will ask for solution, that give me solution, give me answer, what is the answer, give me detailed solution. Some of them will also ask for detailed solution, like give me detailed solution on the copy pen, like write the solution, take the picture and send it to me, like a like a boss. Okay, so many students they do like this. But let me tell all the students that Abhishek, you can check, like on the Telegram group, you can check the last year messages, you can check whenever Abhishek is asking some doubt, or on the Stack Overflow also you can check, like Abhishek has asked many doubts on the Stack Overflow website, on the Gate Overflow website. So whenever Abhishek used to ask some doubt, his question had half the answer. So this was something beautiful. Like he used to send me a very long doubt. For example, I have to scroll actually just to read your doubt, just to go through your doubt. I have to scroll the message so that I can read the entire doubt. And in that doubt itself, there was, I can say, half the answer or more than half the answer was already there in their doubt. So this is my suggestion to all the students. Instead of asking questions, you should ask doubts. So there is something different, like you are asking a question, you want a solution. But whenever you are asking a doubt, at that point of time you are basically asking, you are telling that this is what I have done, this is where I have stuck, please give me some hint so that I can go ahead. Okay, so this was something, I can say um, it was a property, or I can say it was something that Abhishek used to do. And this is what every student should do. And in the Go classes, Abhishek, actually we have a rule, there is a Go classes private group. So in that group, there is it is kind of a rule that if you are sending some question, then you should also tell us what did you try, at which point did you get stuck. So it happens many times that whenever some student is asking some doubt, um, and some student is sending question and asking for solution, like give me detailed solution, then even students are telling him, students are also replying that please tell us where did you stuck. So where did you got stuck. So that is also something that is important during a gate preparation, that you should not
Yeah.
ask questions, your questions should have half the answer. So this is something all the students can learn from Abhishek also. Also Abhishek, uh, I wanted to actually this session, as you know, that only 40 days are remaining. So I think 30 or 40 days are remaining. And the main purpose of this session is basically to discuss what students should not do during the final days of the gate preparation. So I remember that with the third year, you got 378 rank. And that is really, really, like, that is a huge thing. Let me tell you, like, very rare, very few students are there who with the third year they get the top rank. You got this rank, 378 rank, and with this rank you got into MTech research in Indian Institute of Science, IISc. So tell us what happened with your final year gate exam, because you were basically one of those students from whom everyone was expecting top rank, maybe single digit rank. And Arjun Suresh sir, gate or for founder. So
Yes, sir.
I had one conversation with Arjun Suresh sir last year. So I asked him, is there any student who you think that is going to get single digit rank, or maybe top three rank or first rank? So his answer was Abhishek. This was his answer. So Abhishek, you can basically, I can say that many people were expecting this top rank from you. We were also expecting, many students were also expecting, because you were very popular on the Telegram group. Uh, so what happened in the last final, in the last few days? What happened? So can you tell us in detail? You can tell us, like, because this is going to be something that is
Yeah.
that all the future students they can basically learn from it. So tell us in detail what happened in the final few days.
Sure, sir. So the thing is, as Deepak sir was saying, many people were having a lot of expectations from me. So they were just saying that even Arjun sir once said me like, your place in IIS is confirmed. Just try to get a single digit rank. So I I was too overwhelmed and started working more than I should have done. Okay. So this is one thing, like you should work, but you should not overwork. That is one thing. Like in the last 30 days or like 35 days or so, like I remember I used to study so much that I couldn't even sleep at night. Like whenever I used to see sleep, like compilers, intermediate languages, intermediate representations and all used to come up in my mind, and I used to wake up like, what is happening? So this is we should not do actually during the last few stages or the last few days of before the gate exam. So what mistakes which I did were something like this. Like I used to overdo the things before the examination, which you should not do actually. So if you do that, you shall be actually means affecting your performance actually, because sleep and like health is the most important thing before any exam. Like if you are fine, if your mental state is fine, you shall be able to answer every question like as much as you can do, like the to the best of your ability. Now if you are not well, like if your health is not well, like you cannot give the the fullest you could have given. Okay, so that is one thing which I felt like mentioning. So I was deprived of sleep, I couldn't sleep properly. So one thing which I also felt like mentioning is that I used to push before the gate exam, like 30 or 35 days before the gate exam. What I used to do is like I used to study quite late at night, like 4 5, then I used to go to sleep. I did not have any fixed schedule, like when to go to sleep or when to wake up, something like that. I used to study as long I used to feel like studying. And then there were times when I went to sleep at around 7 a.m. in the morning and then woke up at 10 or something like that. But that is not a thing you should do before the gate exam, like when the gate exam is knocking at the door, because like you have some sort of biological configuration build up in yourself. Okay, now if you do not sleep properly in a time bound manner before the examination, that same thing shall continue on the night before the examination as well. So you won't be able to sleep probably, like if you have tendencies of sleeping at around 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning, so on the day before the gate examination also you shall be means having the same trend. Okay, in your health, in your body, so your body won't be feeling tired at that point in time. Like the what I should say is that before the night before the examination you should have ample amount of sleep. That is important. So like that matters, like sleep matters. So what I should say is that before like giving the examination in my third year, why it was like cool, like what I should say is like giving the examination in a relaxed manner improves your performance. The more tensed you get, the more drastically your performance drops, because if you have tension in your mind you won't be able to score much, because you are not using the fullest of your body, of your mind. Okay, like in third year I could do good because I was quite casual, because it is third year. I knew that I had fourth year in my hand, so whatever I shall be doing I gave gate in a casual manner. So but in fourth year I had a lot of expectations, like trying to get a single digit rank, and so I did not put means did not put much care, means I put effort, like I used to study. But what mistake which I did was I did not take care about my health. Like my health deteriorated. And I remember during that time some sort of Omicron was going on in prevailing in West Bengal, in our area. So like few days before gate examination I got fever. So after I recovered from fever, so I was very weak. I should say, like before the examination, you should like do not, like even if your parents are in your room, stay away from them. Like if you are leaving the house, stay away from them. Live in isolated place as much as you can, because it is your exam. Okay, you need to work in the best possible manner. So I was like I had that fever. I got weak. Like I remember, like during the examination I went to gate, like give the examination. The screen was in front of me, I was solving the questions, but the light of the screen was hurting my eyes so much. Like I could understand, like the question which would have taken me 3 minutes or 2 minutes, I was taking like 5 minutes or so. Like it was alarming for me, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help because I was not well. Okay, so that things went wrong. So one more thing which I felt like mentioning is that like the 2022 paper, if you would have seen, like it was full of graphs. graphs and graphs, graph theory, graph theory, like, and the questions of graph theory was such, like each of hmm, the they were mostly MSQs, and in each of the MSQs I remember like each statement of the MSQ was like solving a separate question in its totality. So like one thing which I felt like mentioning here is that like I did not know that there is a button you pressing which you can just scan through the entire question paper at once. Like what I did was, there were questions at the back like TOC compilers and all, they were just baby sort of questions, like you did not, because you were just used to those questions, like you knew how to solve them. Like what mistake which I did was, like I was just solving those questions like graph theory and all, which were unknown to me. And I took like a challenge and I took like an ego, like I need to do this. Like, but the people who are there, like every question, like 3 marks questions, 2 marks question, 1 mark question, every like all of them has equal weightage. There is nothing to be considered as an ego or so. If there is an easy question, it is carrying 2 marks, just go for it, do it. Like that is the strategy you should be having. Like I remember I solved around 40, like the questions which I solved, scored a total of 44 in my fourth year's attempt. I did not have any negative, but the problem which was that in the net problems which I had solved was quite less. I should have solved more. Like had I just gone scanned through the paper once, like using that button which showed the end, all the questions at once, I could have just seen like at the back, like I was feeling bad because there were many C questions like related to ASCII stuff. Like there were compilers question, like what should be like expression tree and all. There were questions regarding theory of computation, very easy question like decidability and all. Like the way Deepak sir had taught us decidability, it should have been like easy, like very easy questions they were. Like you could have done in 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Like there I lost marks in that sense. Like I just scored 44, and it was not that good. It was not that good, and I don't even remember my rank of my fourth year. So that's it.
So, Abhishek, actually, we had some conversation after the gate exam also. So, Abhishek told me that he spent too much time on few questions. For example, let me tell about graph theory. So in GATE 2022, the graph theory questions were less of analytical and they were more of I can say, like, if you have already solved them before the exam, then you can solve them in the exam. See, in the exam you have, I can say, maybe 3 or 5 minutes for one question. Like this Peterson graph question, do you remember? Do you remember,
Yeah,
Abhishek?
Peterson graph.
This Peterson graph question, do you remember? So let me tell
Yeah,
you, Abhishek, you go to IISc, you are already in IISc. In IISc, you go to the graph theory lab because that is my lab. I have done my specialization from the graph theory. Basically, we have already, like, I have, I with IISc professors. So basically, I have already submitted one graph theory research paper also. So you can feel that I have done my entire work basically in ISC, in my MTech. I have done my entire work in the field of graph theory. So I know that how important this Peterson graph is. But the point is, this Peterson graph is something which you cannot solve in 5 minutes. Like in the GATE exam, think about some student who is very good at analytical skills, like for example yourself. You are very good at analytical skills, you can analyze the question, but in those 5 minutes you cannot analyze this Peterson graph. So this Peterson graph is something, if you have already done before the GATE exam, if you have already done this Peterson graph, if you already know that how this Peterson graph works, what are the properties and all these things, then you can solve the question in the GATE exam. But in that Peterson graph question, there were four options. The question was asking for chromatic number, for independent set. The question was asking for everything. In that, for that Peterson graph, you have
yeah,
to answer everything. So that is something that you cannot do within 5 minutes or 7 minutes. Of course you can do, maybe you can take 15 minutes, 30 minutes you can take, and then you can solve it. But you cannot solve, maybe within 5 or 7 minutes you cannot solve. Okay, so this type of question, these are not good questions for the GATE exam. This is what I feel. In the GATE exam, you should ask the questions which student can solve using his or her problem solving skills Okay, and it should be something that the students who are rote learning, the students who are by hearting the concepts, so they should not solve it. And students who are very good, who basically who are learning the concepts in a correct way, they should be able to solve in maybe 3 or 5 minutes. So this type of questions are good for the gate exam. But like as you mentioned, in 2022 there were 3 or 4 graph theory questions, and those questions are not easy to solve during the gate exam if you have no idea before the gate exam. So this type of questions were there. So yes, I agree with what you have told, but still in the gate 2022 there were many easy questions, like theory of
Yeah,
computation
yeah, yeah,
was very
yeah,
easy.
yeah, yeah.
So you did not attempt theory of computation, compiler design, those easy questions you did not attempt because of these complicated questions. So this is something actually I tell all the students in Go classes. This is something that basically it is a lesson. It is a lesson that you have given to us, and that is that we periodically we tell all the students that whenever you are attempting some mock test, because mock tests are basically, as the name is telling you, mock test is like mock gate exam. Okay, so it's like a practice of the gate exam. So like the cricketers, okay, they do the net practice. So during the mock exam you can do all these things. During the mock exam, never spend too much time on single question. If there is a question for which you have no idea how to solve this question, or maybe that question is entirely new, maybe that question you can solve, maybe that is easy. We don't know whether that question is easy or hard, but if that question is entirely new for you, then maybe you can attempt it at the end. First you can go through all those questions which are very familiar for you, like which are your strength. So first you get your marks from your strength, then you get the marks from those from your analytical skills. So this is something that you can do in the gate exam. Like as Abhishek told, that if he had done in a reverse way, these graph theory questions, if Abhishek had solved at the end, and all those remaining questions if Abhishek had solved in the beginning, then I think the scenario would be very different. Right, Abhishek? What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, 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 sure. So, like, what happens is that if you are just solving a question which you do not know, as of now, you while solving, you do not know, like, you do not know, like, whether you are doing it right or wrong. So, what happens that if you are keeping on solving these questions, so what happens, your confidence does not build up in that sense. But if you are solve like you have got the paper and you start solving the questions which are your strength, so you know that you have done this question, you have solved this question, you are bound to do it correctly. Okay, given that you do not know make any mistake there. Okay, so if you are doing that correctly, you know that you are done with this question. Now we move on to another question which you are again familiar with, then again you solve it. In this manner your confidence builds up exponentially. Now at the end, even if you are like not comfortable with any one or two questions, something like that, then you can just do away with that. It does not mean that you have to solve every question in gate, because even the toppers who are there who score 81 or something like that, they don't even solve every question. Okay, so you should not solve every question. All you need to do is score more marks than others. Okay, that is the thing which we are also familiar with now in IISc, like relative grading and all. Yeah,
So Abhishek, actually one more thing that you told, that health is very important. But let me tell you what
yeah,
happens, that like everyone knows that health is important, but still uh, it's like until you face it, until you go through it, you don't really realize. It's like, for example, you tell everyone that helmet is very important, helmet is very important, everyone knows that helmet is very important. But until you have the accident, or until you basically some experience, or maybe your relative, or maybe some closed ones, once they have some incident, this type of incident, once they have, then you will take it seriously. But before that you know that it is very good, you should wear the helmet. You know like it is something that everyone knows that they should wear helmet, then but still they will not wear helmet. And this is something same for this health. Like everyone tells us that health is very important, health is very important, but still we give more priority to the uh, I can say to the preparation. We give more priority to the preparation. We think that if we can study for 1 more hour, then we can suddenly crack the I can say first rank. Like This is what this mentality students have, that if I can study for 2 3 more hours, if I can study for maybe if I can sleep, if I can reduce my sleep, and if I can increase my study hours, then maybe I can get 5 more marks. So this type of thinking many students they have. And of course this thinking time to time many people they make them realize that this is not good, this is not good, this is not good, but still it is very hard to realize. So
Yeah,
I
sir.
think that because you have gone through it, because of health you had some issues, and but now you are suggesting all the students that watch out for your health, take care of your health. But still I think it will be still people will not be able to understand it. It is something that happens. I don't know. It is something that naturally happens. So, but still, it is our duty, or I can say it is our responsibility to tell all the students that please take care of, or please take care of your health, because before the gate exam, or during the gate exam, if you are sick, if you are not perfectly, I can say, healthy, then all your preparation, 1 year of your preparation will go, I can say, almost will go to waste. So please don't do that. So take care of your health. Now Abhishek, some students are asking some doubts, so let's take those doubts first. So some typical
Yeah.
doubts are there, so can you answer, like there is one doubt, like how many mock tests you have given and what was your marks in the mock test?
Yeah, like I gave mock tests, but I do not remember how many. I used to give those gate overflow mock tests and all. So like they were near around, like as much as I can remember, they were constantly increasing in some sense. Like initially I used to get less, like I used to work on them and I used to get more. Like, but like 2022's paper was quite different. But I remember, like what I remember is that some Peterson related graph, something like that question was also there in Gate Overflow
In
mock
gate
test.
overflow, actually yes, that this is true. In gate overflow test series, this Peterson graph question was already there. Like basically in that question also, this was a question that was already present in the gate overflow test series, this Peterson graph, and the question was asking for coloring number and all those things. So like the actual gate question that came in the gate exam, I think maybe I think 2 or 3 options were already present in the gate overflow test series. So yes.
Mhm.
So did you see that Peterson graph question in the gate overflow test series? Like, did you remember it in the gate exam,
Yeah, I had actually solved that Peterson question in Gate exam.
during the gate exam?
Because I
Okay.
was just
So
familiar with that. Like as sir was saying, you need to be familiar with that question before. Otherwise, you won't be able to solve that using the during the Gate exam. Like it was a heavy question in its in totality.
in
So
the gate
that's the
overflow
thing.
test series, did you solve it, or did you
No, in Gate Overflow test series, I did not solve it, but later on, I like analyzed it. It took a lot of time. Like I left it during the Gate Overflow test. So that is the thing.
So this is
And
actually something interesting, Abhishek. As I was telling that if you are already familiar with this question, then you can solve it. As you told that you saw this question basically exactly, or I can say almost 80 90% similar question you saw in the gate
yeah,
overflow
yeah,
test series. You could not solve it during the test. You analyzed it. Now you are familiar with this. Now you are familiar with this Peterson graph question, and then you solved it in the actual gate exam.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh, so how many tests? I think in the gate for test series there were 6 mock tests. So did you give all the 6 mock tests?
Yeah, I remember. If I remember correctly, I gave all of them like in a
Okay.
time-bound manner because they were important, right? Because before, like everybody was saying, like it is very nice, and I personally felt that the level of gate overflow tests were like they were very high-fi. So that's the reason they were like handling new questions just before the examination is important. It helps like what amount of understanding you have regarding a topic, like. And if anybody is asking like my marks, and so it was around like good marks only, like 70 something like that, 70 68, like, in that range. I do not remember exactly right now, but it was not bad, I would say.
So Abhishek, if by chance if you got, let's assume 55 marks or 50 marks in the gate or for test, in some mock test, let's assume 1 or 2 mock test, you get maybe 50 marks, 50, 55 marks, then would it matter to you?
Like in what sense? I didn't get it.
Like if you are get, let's assume that total 6 mock tests were there. In one,
Mm-hmm.
in some of those mock tests, maybe 2 3 mock tests, if you get by chance some less marks, like
Mm-hmm.
you are getting 70 marks, 60 65 marks you are getting, but let's assume in some mock test you get 50 marks, then would it have mattered to you, like these marks?
Like it would have mattered to me provide if the topper's marks was more than me. But if with 55 marks, if I am the topper, like if I am the highest, then it wouldn't have been a uh, reason of concern for me. But yes, if some toppers marks was around like 20 or 25 marks more than me, then I should be worried a little because I have messed up something in some manner.
then what
Like
would then what would be your solution for this? Like this is the problem, like you got less marks, topper got 25 marks more than you, then
mhm.
what is your solution for this?
First thing is that I shouldn't get demotivated and thing like that. Many people get demotivated, like I wouldn't have, I won't be able to do it. Like I would just sit and quite like real means try to analyze like where I made the mistake, like what prevented me from getting that marks which the topper had got. Okay, so I should analyze my mistake and make sure that I do not make it next time. Okay, that is the thing. Like that is the means importance of giving mock tests, right?
So Mavit is asking that with 378 rank, how did you get into IISc? So can you tell us something about your research interview?
Yeah, sure. So like in ISC, what I should say is like I had given research means research interview. Like I was mostly interested in research. Okay, because like I had a talk with Arjun Suresh sir, like during my gate preparation and all. He just says me like he just analyzed my way of thinking and he said that I feel that you are more into systems domain. Please please explore this domain, like systems domain, like subjects. Many of us, many of the students who are just preparing right now for gate might not be familiar about the systems domain in such as such. So I am saying like systems domain includes those subjects like operating system, computer architecture, compilers, dbms, and those areas. Like you can go into IISc's CSA department and look into that systems pool, and you shall get to know that what are the subjects which fall into the systems domain. Okay, so like I was mostly interested in the systems domain. I had interest in theory, but I did not have an interest in MLAI related stuff. So like I had got idea like if you are taking coursework, like you have to study everything. Like I wouldn't be able to explore systems in a much more depth. So like I was like keen on doing research. Okay, so that is the thing, I would be able to explore more of systems. So like I gave research interviews from IIT Bombay, Madras, and all the good IITs and all. But the level of questions of research for MTech of IISc was the best. Like they just for one I if I share the my experience like for IIT Madras and for IIT Bombay, they were just asking gate level questions for two means most of the time they were asking gate level questions, and at the end they were like asking a few mm, above gate level questions like copy on write rule, etc., like those things. But what happened in IISc's MTech research, what I should say is that for 2 to 3 minutes only they were just talking about gate level questions, like the concept related to gate, and then after that they went above gate level because IISc is IISc after all. So that is the thing. What I should say is that it is not difficult. Like cracking the research interview is not difficult. What you need to do is whenever you are studying something, you need to go into the depth of it. Like don't just study like you have to score marks, something like that. Like you need to have proper understanding of the thing. What I saw is that the professor sitting there, they know like many people might have just given the examination. They actually know that wherever the concepts are, like which are the portions where students do not have firm understanding. So like how a system call works actually, like how the system call handler gets called, these are some of the questions, like why it is necessary for mapping the kernel region into the virtual address space of the process, something like this. Like questions which were like you might have seen before, but you might have not given a thought regarding that. So that, like, in the it is not like that they were just asking you questions which you might have marked up before. Like they might be asking like quite innovative questions, like they were just asking the whys and hows. Now if you have thought before, like just to, they were just checking your analytical skills, like how much in depth you have studied, like whatever knowledge you have. Just they were just asking analytical questions, not like asking questions regarding what should be this, what should be that. Like, not they were asking like what is the MIPS instruction, tell me the MIPS instruction, something like that. No, they were just asking questions regarding like how to think, like how you have thought regarding the question. It doesn't matter to them like whether it were 100% right or 100% means. They were just thinking your, seeing your thought process, like how you were thinking. That is what I saw they were checking into it. Like if you are proficient with that, I guess you can get into IISc using that.
So Abhishek, actually, as you mentioned this, many GATE aspirants, they prepare for the GATE exam in such a way that it's like a GATE exam is the last thing that they have to prepare for. So here something I want to I want to mention that if you prepare for the GATE exam in a very I can say with a good understanding, see, getting the marks is different. Solving the question and getting the answer is different. Getting the answer and doing the complete analysis of the question is, these are two different things. Many students, they will get the answer like in decidability, as you know, Abhishek, this concept of decidability, there are many students, they will get the answer because
Who
they know
just
that there are,
memorize the table? They
yeah,
know a table.
yes,
They have a table.
they will memorize that table. Using that table, they will also be able to solve some questions. So with basically with this memorizing table, once they solve maybe 5 question 10 question, then they will feel very happy that, yeah, okay, so that's it, decidability is done. So they don't feel that, first of all, you did not understand. First of all, they do not feel that if in the GATE exam, if some good question comes which needs a proper understanding, which needs I can say a correct, clear, in-depth understanding, then how will I be able to solve? I know this table, using this table I am solving these questions, but what if by chance I don't get the rank? Let's assume in the worst case, I don't get a good rank, I don't get a direct admission. If you are getting a direct admission, then there is no problem, but in case you don't get a direct admission, you have to go through interview. In the interview, you cannot answer the questions using that table. In that interview, these are IIT professors, IIT IISc professors, they know everything. So they will ask you questions, why, how, why this is happening. You will mention whatever statement will come out of your mouth, they will just put one word before it, that is why. Yeah, so that is something actually we suggest to all the students. You are very familiar with Go classes, so this is something we tell all the students, that whatever
Yeah,
comes,
yeah, yeah.
whatever you are learning, whatever statement, whatever table, whatever formula, theorem, result, property, like anything that you are learning, just ask yourself why it is like this. What is the proof of this? What are the variations of this? What questions they can ask you? What tricky question they can ask you? What are the corner cases? So basically, it's like a complete package, it's like a complete analysis of everything that you should do. If you do like this, let me tell all the students, in worst case, if you do not get direct admission, you will definitely get into IISc, IIT Bombay, these IITs and all these good institutes like Triple IT Hyderabad, CMI, ISI, TIFR. So there are many brilliant institutes where you can go, very which you can crack very easily if you have good understanding. In worst case, if you are not able to crack the GATE exam, see, Abhishek basically had some I can say health issues, and as you can see, those 3 hours of the GATE 2022, he did not attempt in a, I can say, in a right way. As he has mentioned that he should have attempted the paper in a right way, but he attempted the paper, I can say, in a different way, and that is the reason he did not get the rank. But let me tell all the students that his rank does not reflect the knowledge that he has. We are, I can say, we are the witness of it. Not only us, all the, I can say, gate 2022 aspirants, all the students who were preparing for the gate 2022 last year, who were active on the telegram, who were active on gate overflow website, they are witness of this, that basically your rank does not reflect, even not even close, let me tell you, not even close, the knowledge that you have, the understanding that you have. And with that understanding, uh, Abhishek has cracked IISc interview. IISc interviews are not easy. I'm not, see, Abhishek, actually I'm not familiar with IIT interviews. Of course, those are brilliant institutes, but I'm not familiar with those. I'm familiar with IISc interviews, and I know that their complete focus is basically on this, I can say, why, whatever comes out of your mouth, just tell us why, just tell us how. So they don't want facts, they just want proof, give me proof.
Yeah. That is
uh,
the thing. Like as I was saying, like I felt in few other institutes interview, I saw that they were just asking things regarding facts. Like what you know, if you know it, you will be able to answer. If you do not know, you won't be able to answer it. But in IISc, as sir is saying, like they were asking why, how, what if we change this? Like they instantly they were making questions. Like if what shall happen if we just change the pay stable contract, like who is maintaining what, like what, how it shall affect the critical path, what effect it shall have on the performance and all. Like if you aren't thorough with the thing, like if you are not able to think properly, you won't be able to answer. Like they, as sir said, they do not ask facts.
like when students are preparing for the gate exam, during the gate preparation, their favorite topic in operating system is scheduling. But in IISc, IIT, basically all these good colleges, in their interview, they will not ask you scheduling. They will ask you those topics which you did not study during the gate exam. Those are like system calls, like threads, like these fork, maybe system, like fork call, or multi-level paging. How the paging is basically, how the paging basically works with the hardware, and basically the relation between all these. I can say, just take two concepts and the relation between two concepts. So this type of questions they ask in the interviews. And Abhishek, it is very unfortunate that the favorite topic of students, of majority of the students, the favorite topic is scheduling. That topic is never going to make you a topper, because scheduling is a topic which everyone will solve. Like if question comes from the scheduling, then everyone is going to solve it. So that topic is not going to make you a topper, but it is just a student mentality. If you are getting marks from it, sorry, like if you are solving questions, if you are able to solve questions from this topic, then that topic becomes their favorite. And if there is a topic from which they are not able to understand, of course they can understand if they put the efforts, if they study from the standard resources, then they can understand. But because of their, I can say, because of some reason, or maybe because of not studying from good resources, if they don't understand this topic, then they will just say that this is rare. In the gate exam, question will come very rarely. So this type of things they will say, and they will skip that topic. So it is something that majority of the students do. And that is something that makes topper separate from the crowd. So topper is topper
Yeah.
because of his, I can say, his approach of learning the concepts. And so that is same something like Abhishek is saying in the interview also. Yes, like Rosan is saying pumping lemma. So in ISC, Abhishek, there is a professor, Professor Deepak D'Souza.
Deepak
Yeah,
D'Souza. Yes,
Deepak
yes,
sir.
yes.
Yeah,
He's
so
very cool. He's
he's
very
very
cool
cool. Yes, yes, yes,
and cool minded. I remember, like as you were saying, like if somebody asks him a doubt, he's a soft spoken person. Like
yes,
you have to sit very close to him if you want to hear, like be able to hear him. Like he shall listen to the students doubts, then he shall think like where the student has made mistake, and then he shall say like what is his doubts.
yes,
Like
yes.
he, like all the professors in IISc are great. Like this is like
So
heaven of
the,
the institutions.
this is something very unique about Deepak sir, Deepak D'Souza sir. So he's a automata theory professor, and also some other subject also he takes in ISC. So he's like, basically this is the property, I can say, this is the characteristic that he taught us. So whenever we used to ask him a very silly doubt, it does not matter what is your doubt. It does not matter. If your doubt is very simple, like if you ask him, sir, 2 plus 2 equal to 4, then he will take a break. Basically he will think, okay, It's like for 2 or 3 minutes he will just become silent. He will think, and then he will tell the student that this is the mistake you are doing, this is your thought process, this should be your thought process, you are thinking like this. So basically a student can very easily understand what mistake the student was making and how the student can improve. So this is something very unique. And so in if in some interview, if Deepak sir is there, then definitely they will ask you doubts related to these topics which are very important for the automata theory, for the theory of computation, like pumping lemma. Pumping lemma is something, Myhill-Nerod theorem, let me tell you, like for because I know that Deepak sir, they teach Myhill-Nerod theorem for 2 lectures. This Myhill-Nerod theorem, 2 lectures, they teach this Myhill-Nerod theorem, and all the applications of Myhill-Nerod theorem they will teach. And this is something very important. And in the gate coaching institutes, people don't even teach it, people don't even touch it, and they will also say that it is not important. Let me tell you, you can very easily find the videos, very easily you can find where they will say that pumping lemma, Myhill-Nerod theorem, these things are not important for the subject. These things are very, I can say, you can skip it. Actually these are the things that make the half of the theory of computation, or I can say maybe half of the I can say finite automata or regular languages. But still students don't study these concepts. And in Go classes, let me tell you that almost all the regular languages questions we have solved using Myhill-Nerod theorem. So it has become a favorite topic for the Go classes students. If you next year, if some student comes to IISc and you meet them from the Go classes, if all the students that will come to IISc, you ask them what is your favorite topic in theory of computation from Go classes, they will tell you decidability. Of course, decidability, they will definitely mention it. And they will also mention this Myhill-Nerod theorem. So these two topics they will mention, Myhill-Nerod theorem and decidability. So anyway, so this is something that this is a suggestion to all the students, that please study in a good way. Because if you study in a very nice way, if you study with understanding, if you don't by heart, if you do not memorize the concepts, if you just understand all the concepts, then either you will crack the gate exam, or in worst case, if you do not get direct admission in the through the gate exam, then you can crack interview. In other worst case, you can crack these exams like DRDO, ISRO, NILIT. These exams you can crack, or you can crack exams like IIIT Hyderabad, CMI, TIFR. So basically, there are many exams. There are a lot of opportunity. If you are a very good, if your preparation for the gate exam is very good, then automatically there are, I think maybe there are 15 to 20 opportunities are there, very good opportunities you have. In worst case, if you do not get direct admission in some IIT or ISc, then still you have many good opportunities. This IIIT Bangalore, IIIT Hyderabad, like IIIT Hyderabad takes its own exam. So there are many institutes which take their own exam, and these exams you can very easily crack if you have done good preparation of the gate exam. So this preparation of the gate exam versus good preparation of the gate exam, this is something that students have to understand. So
And one more thing which I felt
yes,
like mentioning here, as sir was saying, like good preparation, like from the beginning only you should study from good things. Okay, like if your mind is filled up with garbage things regarding a topic, like if you have misconceptions regarding something, no, like it takes a lot of time to unlearn a thing than learning afresh. Like if you have a wrong concept regarding something, like I am telling you, like if you have a wrong concept regarding something, like if you learn it again, like the right thing, you shall be having a tough time remembering which is right, which is wrong, and to undo the wrong thing. Like if you are studying the correct thing from the very beginning, you shall be having a first impression in your mind, and that is the correct thing. Like if your first impression is wrong thing, and to undo that wrong thing and studying what is right, as many of you might be familiar that there are coaching institutes. I had a conversation, I used to have conversation with few of my college mates and all. They used to say like, this is this. I said like, no, this is not. They said that, no, no, this is this. Like, this is how you should solve this type of questions. I said that, no, this is not. This is like, this is given in this book. You shall see quote. If not quote, you can see Deepak sir's lecture on YouTube. It is like that chess method, I guess. Like
chess
I
method,
don't
this
remember it.
decomposition,
Ha
this
ha ha.
non-binary
Ha, like
decomposition.
that I said, like, I used to say them that, see Deepak sir's lectures. they are the correct thing. They, when I said that, they did not used to like uh, take me like seriously when I said that Deepak sir has said the same thing. Then they say that okay, 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 thank you.
Abhishek, actually, what will happen that once you study, once your first concept, like the first resource from where you are learning the concept, if they are teaching you wrong concepts, then uh, once you study the right concept, you will doubt the right concept. Basically, you are
Yeah.
doubting the correct concept. It happens, like as you mentioned. So let me tell you this non-binary decomposition in DBMS. Whenever we divide some relation into more than more than two relations, if you do the decomposition. So this is basically the non-binary decomposition. Now in this, students what they do, all the coaching institute, all these, I can say, god, god teachers, nowadays, every teacher is a god. Nowadays becoming god is very easy. You just you teach the wrong concept, or I can say you teach the easy concept, you become the god. So anyway.
And you should come like you become Shahrukh Khan or something like that.
Yes, yes. So actually, now what happens that once we teach them the right concept in the Go classes, once we tell them that this was your misconception, we tell them that this was your misconception. See, this is the Ulman screenshot. We give them a screenshot of Ulman. We give them a screenshot of Nawate. But still, there are some students, not all. There are many students who basically who are very curious. Once they study the once they study the correct concept, then they will improvise, they will basically correct themselves. But there are some students who are, I can say, very they are stuck to the previous concepts. Like they will just mention, no, that teacher who is god of this, that teacher told us this, so this is correct. You are wrong. Your Ulman is wrong, Korth is wrong, Nawate is wrong, Go class is wrong, NPTL is wrong, everything is wrong. That concept is correct because that is God of this. So actually, this is a mentality. As you have mentioned, actually, you just mentioned only one topic, this non-binary decomposition. Let me tell you the entire normalization. The entire
Yeah.
normalization is wrongly taught. Entire normalization, in the entire normalization, many students have misconceptions, and also there are many other concepts. As you know, multi-level paging is one of those. um, there are
Yeah, 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 sure.
yeah, so there are many
Mhm.
other concepts, like I don't remember right now, but many concepts you can find where there are many misconceptions students have. So anyway, as you mentioned, it is very hard. Once you study the wrong concepts, then correcting those concepts is very hard.
Somebody had asked like how is my research life at IISc. Like as I would say, like life in IISc is very cool. Okay, so starting from professors, your college life, and here you get single rooms. Okay, so you can just uh, have a nice time. You can just study nicely. Everything is available here. All you need to do is put in effort. Okay, uh, everything is nice here. Even starting from mess, the the food quality is nice, and even the climate here is very nice. So IISc life at IISc is cool. And research life, as of now, I have not yet started my research. I had my coursework till like 6 months or so. You need to get through the course, means the courses required for that. Yeah, yeah. Not everyone gets single room. Yeah, sure. But you shall be getting soon. Okay. Even if you are not getting in the beginning, you shall be getting soon. Okay. Then the thing is the research life, as I was saying. But I have talked to seniors and all. They are also having uh, great research life here. So life at IISc is nice. Okay. There is no point mentioning about that. So few more questions.
So
Like
Abhishek, can
how
you
to
tell how
revise
to
like
revise? Can you take this doubt?
ha, like how to revise, like as sir has also said, like it is quite in some sense it shall be quite futile if you just keep like it is something like refreshing of DRAM. Okay, like if you just keep aside your normal studying and keep on revising, and then again come back to your studying, it won't be helping that much. Okay, what you should do actually is, when you are studying a concept, make sure that you are having that thing in mind. Okay, you do not need something like full-fledged refresh of what you have learned. Like it is quite dumb in some sense to just do entire revision, like something like that. It doesn't help like that. But what you can do actually do is, like, whenever you are studying a subject, suppose you are studying theory of computation, okay, so you studied and you keep in touch with the subject even if you are studying OS or DBMS or something like that. So what shall happen is that your concept shall not get out of your mind. Okay, the level to which I agree, like if you are studying theory of computation, you have mastered the concepts and all. Now if you keep aside theory of computation and you start studying operating system and you feel that you need to master that subject, by the time you, as in say, you master the operating system concepts, it might be so that the concepts which you have learned about theory of computation might get out of your mind, like they might become hazy. Okay, so what I suggest is that keep in touch with all of the subjects which you have already studied. Like, suppose there are 7 days in a week, Saturday Sunday you can just get in touch with the subjects which you are already done with. Okay, like suppose solving a questions, like what I should suggest is that solving questions actually help you keep in touch with the concepts much in a much better manner. Okay, that is you how you should try doing it. And if at at all, like 3 to 4 weeks later, if you find that some concept needs a huge amount of brushing, you can do then. But like doing something like you are studying our theory of computation, operating system, DBMS, you just scan through this, like you studied 9 subjects one after the other, then again you come back to theory of computation, you shall be seeing that you have forgotten much of the things. So that is you shouldn't do actually. Okay, you should keep in touch with the subjects as and when you means as you go along. Like it should be stacked in your mind. Okay, not just like that. So this is what I followed. And one thing which I also followed while studying is that I used to follow the Finman technique. Okay, so what is that? If you are studying one subject, okay, study it properly and think that you are a teacher now. To that level you study. Okay, and then try to explain it to somebody else, as if you are trying to explain it to somebody else, even if there is nobody in front of you. Just try in that manner. So you the level of depth of knowledge you shall be having, it shall help. I mean, like teachers do not forget like what are they teaching. Okay, so that actually helps. I used to follow this Finman lecture technique. He is a famous Nobel laureate in physics. You can just research, I mean, just type in the name of Finman technique, studying technique or something like that. You shall get to know like what is that in detail.
So Abhishek, for the last 1 month, what are the things students should focus on? Ankit is asking for the conceptual mistakes. Should we spend time learning those topics from the books during this last month? So this is the specifically for the last month. What is your suggestion? Should we study? Should we go into the standard resources?
Like if the topic is what I feel is personally is that last 1 month or so is actually the time you should give for heavy revision. If any part you are missing something. Okay, so it might include, as he is saying, like if 1 or 2 topics is not having in-depth knowledge, if you are not having in-depth knowledge in 1 or 2 topics, what I feel is that you can just take that specific part and read it from a standard book. Like you might be having some guide, or as like Deepak sir or Sachin sir, you can just ask them like where to study this topic in detail. So you can just make up that backlog, if you are having that. And as far as means revision is concerned, and you should solve previous year's questions in a time bound manner. Okay, so like giving at most 3 minutes. Like what I used to do during my time is that I actually use Linux. So what I used to do is when I used to solve the previous year's questions, I used to solve it on laptop in my computer only. And I had set the screensaver at a time instant of at a sleep time of 3 minutes. Like when my like the moment 3 minutes were over, my screen used to means the screensaver used to come up, and I used to get to know that like this in this question I took more than the time I should have. Like internally, the scheduling was going on, like timing interrupt was there. So I used to do in that manner. So that is how I used to do. Like at the back of the thing, computer was actually just doing, means making note of how much time I am taking for each question. So that is quite important. Like doing the things in time bound manner is important. I also made note like few easy questions, like few theory of computation questions or compilers questions, or something very easy questions used to take like 2 to 3 seconds if I am not wrong. So you can, even if few questions are taking more than 3 seconds, 3 minutes, you can make up for those long questions with those easy questions if you are familiar with them. So as sir was saying, like you cannot solve every questions within that 3 minutes time. Some might take 5 minutes, some might take 7 minutes. So you like, you need to make a nice balance. Okay, so how you need to do.
In the
And
in the Yes, yes.
one more thing which I felt like mentioning is that you should be familiar with how to use that calculator. Okay, like many questions actually require the use of that calculator. Now if you are familiar with that calculator, you can save a lot of that time instead of just writing into the paper and doing the stuff. So like you can just read the question in your screen, and you can just directly enter those numbers into that on screen calculator, and just directly press enter, and you can get the answer and write those things in the box. Look, you need to be familiar with the features which are provided that during that online mode of examination. And I guess TCS has made that scientific calculator available online, so it is available. You can just make yourself familiar with that.
So actually, Abhishek, there was a question in GATE 2018. This
Mhm.
question was related to some integration question was there from the
Mhm.
calculus, and in that
Mhm.
question, I think there was basically when we were solving the question in during the GATE exam, then some radian or degree issue. I did not know the calculator that I am using is that using the is that using degree or radian. So this unit
Yeah.
I was not aware of, and I solved the question very, I can say, correctly. And then at the end, I used the calculator, and I got the wrong answer because I was not aware. This calculator is basically is giving me answer using which unit. So that unit
Yeah,
I
but
was
I
not
guess
aware.
in diff by I guess I don't remember, but default is degree. Like in normal calculators, also default becomes degree, but
So
calculus actually demands radians. So
yes,
that
something.
switch of
Yeah,
haha.
I I don't remember exactly what was the scenario, but this similar scenario was there. Basically, degree versus radian. This scenario was there, and because I was not aware, and not only me, at my time in 2018, the all India rank one was Namita. She is my friend, and at
Yeah,
that time she also did it wrong and the same mistake. I also did the same mistake. She also did the same mistake, and there were many students. Okay, in the 2018, there were many students who did the same mistake because they basically it's like all the people who made this mistake, even the toppers who made this mistake, they made because they were not aware of this calculator, what is the unit. I think
hmm,
like I think the calculation was in radian, but the calculator was working in degree. So first we have
yeah.
to convert this radian into degree, then we have to use the calculator. But this mistake we did. So
Or
as you
probably I guess there's a button to switch between degree and radians, like as it happens in normal calculators. So like it is good to be familiar with that interface, because like in the examination you won't be having time to find where is square root, where is multiplication, where is division and all. Like I
Yes, yes.
remember many questions could have been like many thoughtful questions could be easily done using calculator also, like if you are familiar with that interface. Like that
Right.
is what I felt like mentioning.
One other thing is silly mistakes. Here, Uday is asking about silly mistake. How to improve on silly mistakes? Like you did not do any silly mistake in the GATE exam, as you mentioned that you basically got the full marks from the questions that you have done.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, do you have any suggestions related to the silly mistakes? Because this is something that many students they lose marks. I I have experience of many students who were brilliant, but they lost almost 5 to 10 marks only because of silly mistakes. like the question is asking for decidable and they are answering for undecidable. The question is asking false, they are answering true. So this type of and of course there are many other, like these are just I can say from the top of my mind, these are the silly mistakes that I came. But there are many other silly mistakes that students can make. So related to those silly mistakes, how to reduce, is there any suggestion
Yeah,
that?
yeah, like what I mean, silly mistakes actually, what I feel is that it happens because if we are not careful that enough, like if we are losing focus or losing concentration in some sense or so, like if silly mistake is an issue, then I would suggest that we could just while studying or so, what I used to do is there are some alpha or beta, something like that concentration, like waves on YouTube, like 3 hours, 10 hours, those continuous, some sort of Tibetan music or something like that. I used to play them in background in full volume so that I was cut off from the other people who are there in my house. I used to work like study, and that in some sense used to help me in my work. And it also, like, you can also meditate in some sense, like it helps improve concentration. Like silly mistakes actually happen due to lack of concentration, right? Like we
Right.
are reading something, like we are reading something else. Like we shouldn't have any preconceived notion regarding a question. Like we might see some, like it also happens, like many of my friends said, like uh, if some similar sort of question is there, they just start diving into the question and mark the option, but they just say that they have, the question they have asked, like not, like they have mentioned not, but they answered for like which of them follows this property, but not like the not what was asked was not. They did not ask for the yes answer. So like we need to be a bit careful. Like I also felt like mentioning one point here, like during my gate 2021, which I felt was that when you are sitting for the examination, please check the hardware very properly. Like what I saw is that during my examination I found that my mouse was not working properly, like the left, like it was during lockdown, so people had not used that computer for a long time. So some like you might be familiar, like even if you are not using your monitor for a long time and you try to change the brightness, contrast buttons, it does not work like in the first chance. You need to press it, something like that. What issue I had is that the mouse was not responsive at times. Like I also lost around 5 or 6 marks due, or might be more because of that. Like there was an IEEE 754 question regarding that. I was sure that I had pressed the minus key, but I didn't see like what was getting reflected into that box. Like I pressed minus on that on virtual keyboard, but that minus was not reflected into that box because that mouse was not working fine. So you need to be just check like whether your hardware is fine or not. Even if it is, so you just get it checked. It won't like, even if you think like you shall be wasting time during that time, you can just switch your screen to a very long question. By the time you read it, they might change the mouse. It is better than like losing 1 or 2 minutes is better than losing like 10 marks in an exam. Like it.
Right. Actually, there is time before the exam starts. Almost, I think, for 15 or 20 minutes, the student will basically sit in front of the screen and read the instructions. So I think there is enough time to check all these things, and students should do it. Students should
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
There are some students actually what they do, they are out of the exam hall, but they will not go to the exam hall, they will just wait. Okay, let's study. So they will they will utilize those 15 minutes and they will study. For those 15 minutes also they will study, and they will they will make sure that we will go to the exam hall exactly at the when the exam is starting. I will go to the exam hall at that time, so I will save these 15 minutes and I will study something. Like in these 15 minutes, suddenly I will become the all India rank one. So this type of thought process, many students they have. So as you mentioned, so I think it is good that you go to the exam hall. I
Hmm.
think maybe 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes window you give to yourself. You go to your screen and sit for 20 minutes. Okay, just be familiar with the environment, just be familiar with your screen and all the hardware. So all these things. So as Abhishek is mentioning, so you would be blaming yourself if this type of thing happens to you, if you are losing 5 marks because of some stupid hardware mistake, if you are losing,
Yeah.
so then it is uh, I think, Abhishek, it was, I think, you should have done it something about it before the exam started, or like or did you like did you get to know it, get to know before the exam started, like
No,
in those
like
20 minutes?
the mouse was having some sort of an issue. Means what I can remember properly is that in the beginning, when they give the time for that checking window, at that time I guess scroll is not work. Scroll does not work. Something like this means
Scroll
many
never
of the
works, huh? Right, actually
many of
scroll
the
never works.
uh,
You have to, yeah,
hmm.
you have to drag it.
So so many of the the mouse was having a bit of issue, I guess. But I asked the person who was sitting beside me. She, or she, I don't remember. She said that the mouse scroll is not working. I thought that it is the issue. Means the facilities are not available. Like it was having a bit of issue. I thought that it is the interface which is not letting me use the mouse in that manner. Like the issue was gone. Like when I was giving the exam, like then suddenly it appeared. Like in the
Okay,
beginning, if you find it is faulty, get it changed. Don't think that
right,
it might, since it has become fine, like it is a faulty hardware, you don't know like when it might break in the middle, right?
right.
It started working in the middle and suddenly at times it was giving false. Like I pressed minus, it didn't appear. Like those issues remain. So like if it appears in the beginning, get it changed. Okay,
Okay,
so
this is
that is
somewhat
what
of
I
a new
used to do.
suggestion actually. So I think all the students who are watching this video, you should definitely make sure, like, you have 20 minutes of window, what you will do. So in those 20 minutes,
Yeah.
basically, in those 20 minutes, you can play with the mouse, you can play with the you can get familiar with everything. Don't miss anything, basically in those, and also read the instructions, because see, Abhishek, in 2021 they suddenly changed this pattern. All the questions
Yeah.
were mixed, this 1 mark, two
Yeah. Yeah.
mark. So if you
Mhm.
have seen the gate, I think you have not seen the gate 2020 paper. In gate
Mhm.
2020, the questions were like this: first 1 mark questions, then 2 mark questions. So the questions were separated: 1 mark question, 2 mark question, there was, those were separated. In 2021 they suddenly mixed all the questions, like one
Yeah.
mark 2 mark, all the questions were mixed. So this type of I can say, this type of changes that they do in the exam pattern, these changes you can read before the exam starts. You can read, all these things are given in the instructions, so you can read all the instructions, and you can basically I can say, in your mind, you can just prepare yourself for all the changes that they are making.
Yes, what one thing which I also did was that during that is a huge time. Like I always reach any exam center like at a time when nobody is there. Like nobody is there. Probably I am the first or second person to reach there, and as soon as they allow to students to enter, I enter. Like what I used to do is like it is quite necessary at times to like if you like tables actually help at times like the common questions regarding decidability and all. What I used to do is like as soon as I used to get the rough paper, I used to switch to the last page and I used to make the table during that time only. It's like when the exam is there, I was like short about this question. Like even if in a hurry, I won't be making mistake because in a cool time I had made the table ready in my rough paper and I used to just click it through. Like it helps. Like don't waste that beginning time. Like that, like 20 to 30 minutes or something more than that is actually your time, like before the examination. You are not supposed to take any cheats or something like that, but you can make use of that like rough paper. You just think what is there in your mind and just put it down. You are not doing any kind of cheating, right? You are just making the table which which might help you, like even in operating systems or in pipeline thing. You know that you might be requiring a table like 1 cycle, 2 cycle, 3 cycle or something like that. So why waste time during the examination? Please make the that cell beforehand. So like during the examination, what you can do is just instruction page, instruction decode. Like you can just fill the table instead of just making the lines 1, 2, 3 cycles, something like that. So it saves time. Okay.
Right, right. And also one more thing I just wanted to continue. You were saying that we should not have any pre-assumptions related to the question. So here one thing I want to tell you that when we are solving the questions related to page replacement, whether it is in cache memory or in operating system in the main memory. So page replacement question, when we are solving, most of the time, the data that is given to you, those are basically the blocks, like the block numbers are given to you, or the page numbers are given, page address is given to you, basically something like that is given to you, and then you are solving the question. But now when the question has given you word address, the question has not given you the block address, the question has given you the word address, something like that the question has given. Now at that time, this is just like because we see the question is related to LRU, okay, page replacement question, automatically our mind will just immediately, okay, let's just solve it. We have to realize that in this question the data is changed, the data has given word address, first we have to convert into block address, then we have to solve this question. So this type of changes, this type of small changes actually in the question, and the professors do, I think in 2021 or 2022 there is a question in which word address.
2022, I guess.
Yes, right. I
Ah,
guess in 2022 there is a question in cache memory where word addresses are given to you, and then this question is asking something. So basically, these small I can say pre-assumptions related to the questions, they can give you negative marks in the gate exam.
yeah.
Those are examiners. Those are IIT, IISc professors. They can change any question. Like if you have a question related to matrix chain multiplication, now whenever you see the word matrix and multiplication, immediately your mind will tell you that okay, just solve it, solve it, solve it. But maybe 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 something in that question is changed, maybe I don't know what they will do, but maybe they can give you one paragraph or one line they can give you which changes everything. Okay, maybe they give you some restriction that you cannot do this type of things. So basically in the gate exam, all these questions, these are whatever question you are reading the question, you just make sure that you have no pre-assumptions related to the question. Like don't just see the question and just immediately, okay, let's solve it, let's solve it. You read the question. Actually this was one mistake I had done, Abhishek, in gate 2018 or 2020. In 2018, in gate 2018, I had done this mistake. The grammar was given to us, okay, and first the grammar is given and the question is asking for number of handles or something. The question is asking like sorry, number of reduce, how many reduce happens, how many reduce action happens. So this type of question was there, exactly I don't remember, but this grammar was given and the question was asking that how many reductions are basically happening, how many reduce actions are happening. So what I did, I did not read the complete question. The grammar was given. As soon as I saw the grammar, I simplified it. I just simplified it. And because I simplified, so number of reduce actions, they got reduced. So the answer should be 7. The answer should be 7. I did the answer 4. So you can check it out. This question is there in the compiler design. I don't remember the exact question, but in 2018 or 2020, in Gate, either 2018 or 2020, this question is there in compiler design. If you simplify the grammar and then you solve it, you will get answer 4. And if you don't simplify, then you will get answer 7. So this pre-assumption I had that this grammar is given to me, let's simplify it. Because I was thinking that maybe the question is related to some language. The question will ask me to find out the language. This was my pre-assumption that this question grammar is given, so it will ask me for language. And that is the reason I did simplification. But the question was asking for something else. So that simplification costed me, I can say, 2 marks. So this type of pre-assumptions we definitely should not have.
Yeah,
We should
like
not
I
have.
also remembered as sir was saying, there was a question regarding, like, I don't know the year, but in the middle, I guess liveness analysis was removed. But now again, liveness analysis has been brought into the syllabus. Like when I was solving, there was like there are many means there is this normal definition of liveness means what is a live variable, but in the question they have given something else, like they have redefined what is live variable. And as per that, like if you like solve it like on your preconceived notion, like what you have read from standard books and all, it it shall give you a wrong answer. You shall just see like what if they are divine saying something like live variable is something which this is this, you just stick to that what is there, what they have written, because the examiner wants to test the question based on what they have defined. They might not be following what even standard books are following. So
Right. This
I also had a talk with Deepak sir regarding the same thing during my time of preparation.
this 2015 question of, I think, liveness analysis, this gate 2015 question was there, I think. This
Yes,
question
yes, I
related
guess.
to
Hmm.
live variables, and the definition is given in the
Hmm.
question. You have to use that definition. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that question I remember, and we have done this question. We have basically this solution is already available on the GoClasses YouTube channel. So in that question, I think I have mentioned it, that see the definition. The definition is not what you are what you think is the definition. Like if I normally ask you the definition, then you will give me some other definition. But see, this definition is different. So this is what gate exam does. In the gate exam, if you by heart the concepts, then I think your preparation is over, your gate exam is over, you have to prepare again if you by heart the concepts.
Yeah.
but but if you prepare well, like if you have proper understanding, then definitely with that understanding only you will be able to solve, and this is advantage. This is basically the gate exam. It's like FCFS, FCFS scheduling, it gives advantage. There is this type of questions are there, right? Some particular scheduling will give advantage to some particular kind of process.
Yeah.
So this type of, so similarly the gate exam gives advantage to those students who are preparing very nicely, who have clear
Hmm.
understanding, because once you have this good understanding, then you can solve this type of question where they define something new, where they give some variation. So this type of questions only you can solve, because if there is a student who is by hearting all the answers, who is by hearting tables, formulas, then they will not be able to answer. So this is what I tell all the students. Actually, gate 2021 and 2022, these are, I can say, these are one of the toughest exams in the
Yeah.
gate computer science history. In the entire gate computer science, I think, like this gate 2021, 2022, these are among the toughest. Maybe there can be like 2006 was also very tough. Those gate to
Yeah.
2006 questions, there is popular multi-level paging question is also in that paper. So this I can say that so
It
Abhishek, what
2013 also, I guess, like where page coloring question came. I guess
happens?
2013, I guess.
Right, right. So basically, sometimes it happens that in the last 40 years, you can find maybe three or four gate papers you can find which are, I can say, comparatively harder. In gate 2022, I think, like All India rank 10, they also have, I think, 70 marks. 70 marks All India rank 10 in gate 2022, because it was complicated. In gate 2018, 70 marks means you have rank 67. Okay, because I had 70 point something, basically 70 or 71 marks I had, and I got rank all India rank 67. So you can see the difference. 70 marks in 2018 was all India rank 67. In 2022, same 70 marks means all India rank 10. So that is the difference between the level of the paper. The paper was complicated because of MSQ question. Each, basically, it's like in the paper you did not have 65 question, you had 75 question, because every MSQ
Yeah.
question, every,
Each MSQ is a different question of in its own.
yes,
Like as a,
each option is a question, it's in its own. So it's like, or I can say maybe 75 questions you are solving in the same amount of time. So this is something different, and students actually they get fear. Students are afraid of hard paper. I tell all the students that
hard
if
paper
the
is
paper is
better.
hard, if the paper is hard, then if you are preparing nicely, then you will get benefited. If the paper is hard, uh, actually, just think about it. If the paper is so hard that with 30 questions you can get the single digit rank, let's assume, then it is very easy for you. You just have to sit there and solve 30 questions. Okay. So I think, like, it is advantageous for those students who are preparing very nicely. So if the exam is hard, you should not afraid of it. If the exam is hard, then you will get I can say you will get more advantage. So if an exam is very easy, just think if all the questions are scheduling level question, if all the 65 questions are from the scheduling, then everyone will solve them. Like then all India rank 1 also has 100 marks, all India rank 5000 also has 99 marks. So so
Too much
something
of
like
class test.
that, right? So easy exams
Yeah.
are basically boring. Easy exams are not good
Yeah.
for those who are preparing very nicely. So Abhishek, thank you so much. And
Yes,
if you have
sir.
any last minute suggestions, any tips for the students, you can you can suggest, anything that you want to tell students, anything that you missed.
Like I don't remember if I have missed anything or something like that. I would just say that have faith on yourself. Like uh, like whatever you have done from the beginning of your preparation, have faith on it. Work hard, work smart, and do not overburden yourself. Don't overdo the things. Sleep well, and yeah, be calm during the examination. That is what matters. And best of luck.
So if you are very relaxed during the exam, if you are very calm, then definitely you will get good marks.
Yeah.
So that is something that you should do in the gate exam. In those 3 hours, don't put pressure on yourself, because even if you solve 50 questions, then also you are getting the IIT IISc Bangalore. You are get If you are solving 50 questions, or maybe 47 questions, 47 50 questions, if you are solving correctly, then you are already in the top 100. Okay, so 50 correct questions guarantees that you are in top 100, maybe top 50. Okay, so don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. Just be calm, and don't overdo the things. Like Abhishek is saying, that work, but don't overwork. So, and sleep properly. Sleep is very important. So sleep properly. So all these things. And so thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for all the
Thank you, sir.
suggestions. And this
Mhm.
interview, actually, I wanted to take this interview. And I think in after the gate exam, I told you to let's take one interview. Then you told me that some network connection issues are there when you were
Mhm.
at home. So
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that
yeah.
time, we had this
At that.
conversation that
Mhm.
let's have some interview. Then
Mhm.
so at that time, Abhishek told me that sir, I will uh, let's have this interview once I go to IISc. So
Mhm.
from IISc Bangalore, I will give this interview. So and that day has come finally. And so right now, Abhishek is right now, he is in IISc Bangalore. You can see the room is very nice. So you are single in one room, you are single, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm saying.
So that happens, like in every room this happens, because I know that I was also one room one person in ISC. I
Now,
think one room one person is there.
this time there was a bit of pressure regarding this room because there are UGs and all, and probably due to COVID, means the seniors were not ready. Means they were yet to leave the room. So in the beginning there was a bit of chaos, but gradually I guess it shall settle down. Something
Okay, okay,
comes.
because at my time, I remember that everyone had like single like one room one person, this type of thing. In ISC, actually, two hostel, there are, I can say, plenty of hostels in ISC. Two hostels like P and PD, those are almost and almost empty. Those are
But people
like,
do not go there because they are quite far away from the
yes,
main campus
yeah, people
actually.
do not go there, but the point is, those are empty. Most like half of the hostel is empty entire year. So there is no, I can say that there is no shortage of the room. So this type of messages I get, that sir, in ISC will we get hostel? I tell them that you can take two rooms. Forget about one room. You can take two rooms in ISC. So anyway, so also one more thing, that yes, so actually, Abhishek, one more thing I wanted to tell the students. Yes, so as I was saying, I wanted to take this interview because what you basically, what mistakes happened, or maybe you did in the final days, or maybe I can say it was, of course, the health issues. So all these things, these are very important, and these things I wanted to convey to the all the students. uh, what happened with you, so that should be known to the gate aspirants, so that they can take care, the future gate aspirants, they can take care from, they can learn from your mistakes. So that is the reason this interview was really very important for me. And I have also given this title, that most awaited interview. And it is not only for me, even the gate aspirants, like today I saw this comment by Sayan. So you can see in the chat box, in the participants, you can see there is a Sayan Chaudhary. So he put this comment that yes, indeed, it is a most awaited interview. So people have waited for it, and finally we had this interview. We did not have this interview on the Go Classes YouTube channel, but we will put it, we will upload there. And we are very fortunate to have you in our Go Classes first batch. You are our, I can say, Go Classes first
Okay.
batch student, and we are very fortunate to have you because see, rank does, as I told you that rank does not reflect your knowledge. So everyone, Arjun Suresh sir, Sachin Mittal, me, and all the students, we know that we know what you are capable of, and what you could have done. But anyway, these things are I can say irrelevant. These things are irrelevant because even if you get single digit rank, what you want? You want IIT Bombay, ISc Bangalore, these things you want, and ultimately you are there. So it does not matter. So basically, for you, I can say, for you, luckily, whatever was the gate exam result in fourth year, you already had your third year result. So with that, you got ISc Bangalore, and this is the maximum we can wish for. Also, one more thing, I just want to mention it, that I told Abhishek before the gate exam that even if you get the single digit rank, go for MTech research, don't go for MTech. So because I know Abhishek, so he is basically, I can say, his mind works in a analytical way. So that is the reason this was my suggestion to him before the gate exam also, that I think whenever we had this conversation, I always told you to go for MTech research.
Yeah.
So finally he has gone for MTech research. And if you had gotten direct admission, would you go for MTech or MTech research? Like, can you
No,
tell
no,
me?
MTech research only.
MTech research only, right? Okay, okay. So thank you, Abhishek. We
Thank
will
you, sir.
also have one more interview with you after the gate exam. Because after the gate exam, this interviews we will, for the interview, I can say guidance.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sure.
in ISc, whenever some student will go for this system interview, so they can basically take some guidance. So we will have another interview after the gate exam. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Abhishek.
sure, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. So
Thank
if
you.
I don't see any pending doubts, so we can just end this session now. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abhishek. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.